In this video I'm going to show you step by step how to replace power steering pressure line on Volvo. This is a power steering high pressure line, pretty hard to remove, and this old one started to look at the crimp. First we need to find the container, like I'm using old oil jug, just because we don't want to spill any fluid on the alternator. Place the rag over the alternator. Alright, there is a vice crimp that feed hose to the power steering from the reservoir, like so. Wrapped duct tape around the ends. Alright, now we need to undo the bracket holding that pressure line to the intake. That's the easy part to film, pretty open under the hood. Okay, now we need to use an open wrench, undo the power steering pressure line from the pump. As you can see, my pump is loose because at the same time I replaced the pump shaft seal started to leak. This is a kind of second part of the video. You can check the link down below when I was replacing the power steering pump as well. Okay, here we go. That's a crimp. It's where it started to leak, where the metal part connected to the metal one, and where the metal part crimped to the rubber one, sorry. And as you can see, that line is going all the way down, and this is a replacement one, used one, but in a good shape. This is bracket we disconnected from the intake manifold. It was a one bolt. Okay, I'm using a stubby wrench, 17 mil, like so. It's very tight underneath. It's hard to film, and guys, sorry for shaky camera, and yeah, it was hard for me to get there and do the nice filming job, but I tried my best. As you can see, there's two lines attached to the power steering rack. On top is a return, and on the bottom is a pressure line, and we need to undo the pressure line. As you can see, I can feed from the front. There's a little bit of room between the engine mount and power steering column rack. It's just hard to get there, very tight, but you can do it. As you can see, with that stubby 17mm open wrench, I can break it loose and turn roughly like 1/8 of the turn at the time. Takes time. It's hard to get there with a hand, at least if you have a tiny little hands. And start with the bottom one, which is a pressure line. Yeah, release those clips which are holding the tubing to this engine subframe where the power steering rack mounted. Undo those ones, remove both lines from the clip, and as you can see, it's going all the way along the line. Okay, because we disconnected line from the pump already, and start pulling line down. That is the simplest part. As you can see, it's not very difficult. You just need to wiggle from side to side and work it your way out with the power steering line. That's part is metal. It's pretty easy. I mean, all doable, but you need to take a time, be patient, don't force it, it will go. You need to work it around all those obstacles, too many things on a way. You need to try to find the best fit and way out for the line. As you can see, my return line is still attached, and I'm able to remove the line, but keep watching, because there's the important part, how to fit the line, because I was thinking it will be easier, but it's not. But I would like to share with you what I learned. That's the first time for me doing. Also, yeah, undo that bracket for the return line, and I'm keep working my way out with the pressure line disconnected from the rack, and I'm almost out. You see, I'm just on the side of the engine subframe and try to wiggle it out around that return line to as you can see, It's kind of snaky, and it's so many bends, and yeah, I know, like it's hard to explain, but you need to get the top part under the car first, and then you have enough wiggle room and kind of flex to move it up and down and have that space to get the rest of the line out from the rack. Okay, here we go, guys. We got it out. Honestly, it took me an hour, but I tried to film and make it more simple for you to understand how to do it. I went on YouTube and tried to find a decent tutorial, but unfortunately I couldn't. I also go there and learn, as we all do. And okay, let's go and film the own one and learn all together. Here we go. There's a line, as I said, it started to leak at the crimp, where the rubber crimp to the metal part of the tubing, and it's time to replace. Yeah, line is out, and as a best practice, always replace those rubber o-rings. Use the same green one. It's a high pressure type of rubber o-ring, and carefully not scratching the metal part of the tubing. Just pry the o-ring out and remove it. As you can see, even o-ring still looks good, but it was compressed, and I'm not quite sure. Probably that tubing is still original and o-ring came with it, but those things needs to be replaced to avoid the leaks. And honestly, that video was filmed 9 months ago, and 30,000 kilometers passed by later. There's no leaks, no any issues, and everything works like a charm. Here you go. There's a couple o-rings came. I got them from local auto parts store, like 2 of them, like for $1.50. They are very cheap. Just put a new one, same o-ring, same size. Don't try to save on those things. Yeah, guys, if you like a video, thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, feel free to do that. Appreciate it, your support. This is a small hobby YouTube channel, just sharing what I'm doing on my car. And yeah, just add a little bit power steering to the end of the line. Just will make everything easier during the installation. Always use the recommended power steering fluid, and this is a synthetic power steering fluid from Napa. You can go Volvo. I know I put this one and there's no issues at all. I'm very happy. Yeah, whatever you like. And there is the important part, because we need to feed that line through the so many metal parts and some dirt and some sharp edges there. Protect the o-ring, protect the end of the power steering line. And as I'm doing, just using electrical tape like so, and yep, wrap the electrical tape at the end, and you won't damage the end of the power steering line. I won't get any dirt inside the tubing, which will save our rack and pump as well. And yeah, that's like I learned from the friend, and that's very helpful, because you will see as soon as we start installing the line how hard it could be, and for the end of the line to get through all those corners and edges and try to fit it in perfectly in place, and you will need to go with the end of that line through all that kind of obstacle. Okay, this is one of the important part I want to just emphasize and make the accented. Okay, good to go. I put quite a couple of wraps of electrical tape, make sure it won't get through and won't scratch and damage the o-ring like so, guys. And that shouldn't scare you. It will be so easy to pull it out, because we have some oil added power steering fluid to it. Here we go. There's a new line is laying down. Also, you can wrap the another end, because we need to go through from the bottom to the top, behind on front of the intake, and it can be scratched as well. Just do it both sides. I did the same way, but it's totally up to you. And yeah, see, was this part will go in. Okay, this is tool I made for myself, 3/4 inch wrench. I cut a slot because to make that line fit properly straight and start its threads, I wasn't able to get it there. I disconnected the return line, pull it out, and then I was able to get around that return line at the steering and get that one in. As you can see, I push it all the way up through, and my new line is already in place in the engine bay. And as it was before, all the way down there is a one bracket on the front of the subframe. Remember from that, those were removed as well. And here we go. As you can see, there's my return line needs to be screwed. You undo the return line, pull that end of the we wrapped with the electrical tape, and do the pressure line first, and then put your return line back in place. Although I wasn't able to start the threads and get around, it came out easily that way, but wasn't enough room to thread it, and I removed the return line from the power steering. As you can see, very tight, hard to film. Sorry guys, apologize from the shaky camera, but I think you got an idea. And I was able to get with my that know-how build wrench, as I shown you. You can try stubby wrenches, but it didn't work quite well. I just used those not the stubby, crowfoot wrench. Yeah, crowfoot wrench can work, but it was quite tight for the extension and ratchet. I like that way and worked for me. Tell me what you think might be better, and share your experience with all of us. If it will help someone one day, that will be awesome. As you can see, I'm able to grab with a short open wrench and turn. See, the hardest part was to make the end of the line fit straight. Okay, all done and tight, both of them. Now we need to attach the another end to the pump. This is a cream and butter, very easy. Push it in and make sure your line is aligned straight to the pump, otherwise you won't be able to start a few threads. It's kind of especially with the hydraulic lines, you need to make sure the line, like hose and tip of the hose, are straight to the hole where you put that end. Yep, like so. You screw it in, check the fluid level because we lost a little bit, but if you need add it, put it a little bit of fluid. And yeah, because it will be some air in the system, of course, and you need to add a fluid to maintain the level. Alright, we're going to fire up a vehicle. Then our wheels are still lifted. Turn the steering wheel from side to side. Keep a power steering reservoir open and let all air to come out, and pump will do the rest. And we'll pump it, all bubbles, air bubbles out, and you will be good to go. You will have a nice, good, solid, responsive steering. You want that spongy feel with the air, with delayed response and play. Go and check it. If you need it, add it and let all air out. As I said, just keep it higher than the rest of the vehicle. There's a reservoir. You can lift it 2 wheels and yeah, check it again, and you should be good to go. Very easy, very simple, but yeah, like I said, add it if you need it, and don't overfill. Just remember, fluid is cold, but it will expand when it will get hot. Just keep it on the middle, somewhere between L and H marks, and check it out. Yep, add it to the cold line. And this is a P2 chassis Volvo. 2001 particular Volvo V70XE, but the same procedure can be applied to all P2 chassis made between 2001 up to 2007, even earlier models, as with the very little differences. That's tutorial I help will be handy. And yeah, that's just don't wanna this kind of video just sit and I film, just even if with help one person, that will be awesome. And yeah, because to go to the dealer or to the shop or replace the line, it costs pretty penny, and we didn't need much tools, and it's simple. Thank you so much, guys. Again, if you have any questions about how to do this Volvo power steering power pressure line, please ask down in the comments below. Stay safe, take care, and yeah, see you soon, guys. Bye bye.